Before Amazon made up more than a third of online retailer market share in the U.S., before it was worth a colossal $2 trillion, and before it ever employed 1.6 million people globally, its founder, Jeff Bezos, was just a Seattle guy with a dream and some slimy toys.
This is a slime dog. It sticks to the wall.
Just 4 years after setting up shop in Seattle, he sat down with King 5 News.
And I knew that when I was 80, I wasn't going to be thinking about what happened with my Wall Street job, but I might really have regretted not having participated in this thing called the internet that I thought was going to be a really big deal.
But let's go back to the very beginning, to the high school years in Miami, Florida.
I was really into computers, so I got one in 1980.
Jonathan LeBlanc, Bezos' friend and classmate from Miami Palmetto High, played a pivotal part in Amazon's history.
Jeff would come over and we'd play with it together, open it up and do some play with the hardware inside.
He was one of the rare few Bezos knew who had a computer.
To sort of figure out how things work and do things.
A decade later, when the internet went public, it makes sense that Bezos saw an opportunity.
I got a call from him and he's like, "Can't make it Memorial Day. We're moving out west." I'm like, "Where?" He's like, "I'm not sure yet. We're just moving out west. I'm going to do this internet thing."
Bezos quit his job and took a gamble. He and then wife Mackenzie Scott landed here, Washington State. 30 years ago, in July of 1994, 30-year-old Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in the garage of this Bellevue Craftsman home.
So here, this is my desk here. And that's the fax machine, as you can see.
Originally, the venture had a different name.
When the lawyer who was incorporating the company said, "What do you want the company to be called?" I said, "Cadabra," the abracadabra. But he heard cadaver. He said, "Cadaver?" I said, "No, that name's never going to work."
He landed on Amazon.com. Early Amazon employee John Shuttler says a fledgling group of the first employees.
I recall the story that in Jeff's garage, they were all on their knees.
Were boxing up customer orders by hand.
And one day somebody stood up and said, "Oh, my back."
Without a budget for desks, Bezos bought a door and drilled 4 legs onto it.
Flipped it over, and that became the first door desk.
The door desk, a lasting symbol for the company's modest beginnings.
Why was it good to be here in Seattle in those early days? Why was this a good fit?
I think that there was a lot of great talent here.
Talent like Bettina Sticks.
We've just come such a long way, between being a scrappy startup.
Sticks joined Amazon in 1999, inspired by Bezos' vision. She started the same year Amazon moved here, Seattle's PacMed building.
You would see people sit there and read while they're having their lunch.
And in the years to come, Amazon would outgrow the building.
And then we started to move down into the South Lake Union and here in the Denny Regrate.
For better or worse, Seattle and South Lake Union would never be the same.
Gentrification, right? Pushing out some of the older businesses that were here. How do you kind of respond to that?
Well, I think about what was here before. We had a lot of parking lots.
South Lake Union was industrial, but lower-income Seattle locals, often people of color, were pushed out of downtown as housing costs spiked. Strains the company's still working to address. Amazon set up a housing equity fund.
$3.6 billion that has been invested to not only preserve existing affordable housing units, but to create new ones.
In 3 of our hometown communities. Puget Sound.
It wasn't until 2018 that the Amazon spheres went up, representing a new era for Amazon locally. While their warehouses exploded in number globally, controversy has followed. The companies faced accusations of union busting and of illegally operating as a monopoly. On this 30-year anniversary, the earliest Amazon employees point to the positives of being a giant.
That scale, has also enabled us to just do things that are unique, If you think, going back to disaster relief, we can operate anywhere around the globe.
They're pausing to take in the view from the top.
It's hard to imagine a world without Amazon.
I can't, but who knows? None of us know the future or a crystal ball, but you can order one at Amazon.
As for Bezos,
He recently said in an Instagram post, "What a long, strange trip it's been. So much we still have to do better. I wouldn't trade the ride for anything." I'm Maddie White, King 5 News.